Hey guys, it's Wayne Santos, one of the editors over at Comics Gaming Magazine, and I'm here in Las Vegas for a special Namco event, and with me is Tomasz Gop, who is the executive producer with Lords of the Fallen. He's going to answer a few questions for us. The first question that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, especially if they've seen the gameplay, is this looks a lot like Demon/Dark Souls, which is already being published by Namco. So why is it then that, with Namco already having that, you guys are doing something that's similar?
I think that not everybody will see that these games are similar.
Okay.
I mean, I would be stupid to deny any similarity between these two games, and I'm totally okay with this, as long as in the end of the day it turns out that it was not in a bad way, it was not a rip-off. So we are inspired by certain elements of From Software productions and Namco productions, so that's totally okay. But we fairly believe that there are elements of Lords of the Fallen that will make this game stand out. It will make this game be seen as a game of its own for itself. So, for example, art direction of Lords of the Fallen is not exactly the same. We're not dark fantasy. We're definitely way more epic, high fantasy. I also believe that gameplay-wise, I don't want to surprise anybody and cheat on anybody. You can expect this game to be slightly more arcade style. I'm not saying slasher because it's going to be extremely tactical, but at the same time, probably slightly faster paced, so to say. Tekken kind of style, more rather than actually just, very, very heavily timing based, more skill based. And and also, I almost forgot, but that's last but not least, and I think for a lot of people that's going to be the most important differentiator is the prominence and the importance of the storyline. In Lords of the Fallen, we will have cinematic kind of experience elements in that game. We'll have dialogues with branching of the storylines, and there's more than one ending. So I think you can expect things that will make this game stand out on its own.
Now, how did you guys actually, come up with this idea and then decide to commit to full production? Was it really something as simple as playing Dark Souls and Demon Souls and saying, let's try something like that? Or was it more like, we've actually had an idea that was similar, but they put it out first, but let's do ours anyway? Like, what's the story behind it?
As always, there are a lot of factors that came into play, of course. With this one particularly, CI Games that I work for is known for action games. Actually, the first RPG that they're doing, because mainly CI Games is known for shooters. But on the other hand, CI Games teamed up with Frankfurt, Germany-based team Deck 13. So it's a co-development. And Deck 13 has already done some RPGs. Like they've released around a dozen games so far. They know how to make a project from beginning to the end, and they're fully responsible for the production of this one. And on top of that, because I previously worked on at CD Projekt on the Witcher series, and when I left CD Projekt, it turns out that time was perfect, and I got offered to work on the action/RPG project at CI Games together with Deck 13, and it felt like just perfect opportunity. So that's one thing, and the other thing is I really believe that there is so much great stuff in games like Souls, for example, because it's not only Souls inspired game, but there's a certain element of Souls that is important for us. And I think there was, let's call it challenging games. Maybe that's where we should start off with. And I think there's so much interesting elements for people who really like learning how the game works, nailing that, and then using that. Like games that, for example, own you at the beginning, and then you own the game at the very end, sort of crossing the gap between that randomness of a noob player to the very skilled pro at the very end. And I think it's just important to try to bring that experience to players who don't really want to feel frustrated and throw a controller out the window. And I think this is exactly what is the main principle of developing Lords of the Fallen. So we try to make it challenging, yet not punishing. So.
All right. That was Tomasz Gop, and we're here in Las Vegas, and this was the Bandai Namco Gamers Day.